The following has been brought to you by SJP World Media.
You're listening to In the Corner with Benny Mac. Unfiltered.
People are starting to see exactly who you really are, and you're a hypocrite.
Uncensored.
What he's trying to say is Suplex City.
And unforgiving.
The only reason you were WWE champion for a year is because Triple H didn't want to work Tuesday.
Here's the man in the corner, Benny Mac.
And that's the bottom line, because the great one said so.
Royal Rumble 2024 is now done and dusted, and to be honest, as I sit here right now, I thoroughly enjoyed the show, and we'll get into that. Don't worry, we're going to get into it. WrestleMania is obviously, we're in full swing now for that. Elimination Chamber is still to come. Joining me for this Royal Rumble, I don't want to say review, but look back already to our thoughts on the Royal Rumble, my tag team partner from across the pond, Mr. Tyler. How are you, sir?
Benny, I'm doing fantastic as usual, and it's always a privilege to be able to join you and talk some wrestling, my friend.
I just want to let the people know that who are listening right now, this was actually recorded Monday, so Raw hasn't happened for us yet, Tyler. So obviously we are going to focus more on, obviously, the Royal Rumble and talk about that, which was, again, like I said at the top of the show here, I thought was absolutely brilliant. But we'll get into it bit by bit. But also, I want to let you know, because Tyler Takedown, it's episode 9, I want to say, is just not long dropped as well.
It may have been. Yeah, I've even lost count, but either way, it's available. And but thank you for bringing it up.
No, on SJP World Media right now, you can listen to Tyler saying, I believe it was Bad Blood 97, which, if I remember rightly, is that Kane's debut? Yes,
sir, you are correct. That's when it's got to be Kane.
It's got to be Kane. Yeah. So check it out. It's on SJP World Media. Tyler's Takedowns, obviously. Man, you're doing, well, I hear about 9 episodes in. I just want to ask you, really, are you enjoying doing it and going solo? Obviously, this is quite new. It's relatively new now, I suppose, in terms of doing solo shows for yourself.
I am enjoying the process, Benny. I found myself growing more confident and improving the more and more that I'm able to do of Tyler's Takedowns. So I'm just very thrilled with being able to be on such a fantastic network with shows like yourself on In the Corner and all of Psy and everybody that's a part of the team. It's a great learning process thus far, and I'm just having a blast. And I'm so happy to share the work with everybody and hope they enjoy what I'm doing. That's what any of us can hope for. So I want to thank you for complimenting the program. It means a lot.
No, well, we're all learning, mate. Don't worry. Obviously, some of us have been doing it longer than others, but we're all still learning. I don't care how long you've been doing it. We're all still learning to, do shows, and hopefully people are liking what we do. So, but I enjoyed it, man. I listened to your latest show when I went to work this morning, so I didn't finish it because my commute's not that long. But I was enjoying it, so I've got it for my next day tomorrow when I go to work. So, but yeah.
Oh, thank you, and I appreciate that, Benny. Knowing how much wrestling knowledge you possess, and so many like Sign yourself have, and complimenting the show, and that's why I'm blessed to be a part of such a wonderful team.
Well, it's just okay. I think everybody knows a little bit of everything. I think in terms of the wrestling, I mean, obviously I'm more WWE, obviously, hence the In the Corner WWE tag on X, obviously. So
sure,
yeah, man, no, it's good. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, you are not the unofficial co-host. You are the co-host who just doesn't always come on. That's about it. You got your own stuff going on.
Maybe it's a special attraction thing. We can go with
yeah. Well, NJB used to call himself before he disappeared. He used to say that he was like the Brock Lesnar, and he really is at the moment because he's nowhere to be seen. So we'll see how that goes out. So this episode, obviously, as I said, is recorded Monday. It will come out, I guess, Tuesday or even possibly Wednesday. But then I'll be back on Thursday, normal time, talking obviously Raw and anything else that's been going on WWE related to a degree. I'm just going to share it out there now. this show is not going to cover any Vince McMahon stuff. This is the only time I'll probably mention it until it's all played out, until we all know what things are, what's happening, what he's done, what he's not done. Because I don't want this podcast to be about that. I want to be about how we enjoy watching wrestling, whether that's WWE, TNA, AEW, New Japan, whatever you watch. I mean, obviously, primarily this is a WWE show, but it's about enjoying the wrestling and having fun. So the other stuff is unfortunate, but I'm not really going to, like I said, we'll let it play out and we'll see what happens in the coming months, I guess. So with that being said, let's talk some Royal Rumble, Tyler.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man, I mean, there's a lot more to talk about in terms of like the Netflix stuff I want to talk about. And I'll be on Thursday's show. I'm going to talk a bit more about what I've learned about that. But do you watch the pre-shows anymore? I don't think I've watched a pre-show for a long time. I did glimpse at it this time round for about 10 minutes, and then of course I watched on delay, so I didn't have to sit through the pre-show. Not that the pre-shows are necessarily bad. I was just eager to get the show on the road. So I mean, did you watch it on the night or?
I did watch the pre-show, and I enjoy them. It's fun seeing Wade Barrett and Booker T, and I believe her name's Jackie Redmond, who's doing a fantastic job. Yeah. And also, is it Peter Rosenberg?
I think was on here this time. Yeah,
he also does a tremendous job at what he's able to do. So it kind of gives you that game day feel regarding the panel and having their picks validated and seeing the crowd behind them. I think the fans were already getting ready. You talked about the anxiousness of this Royal Rumble. They were ready to get the thing going, and there was a lot of anticipation, a lot of just infectious energy by the crowd, and it helped to be in a dome. It makes WrestleManias and Royal Rumbles feel unique in that regard. And BenNny, I'm just so pumped up to talk about the Rumble. The concept itself is always, I think, for all of us, has been intriguing in a lot of ways.
It was just we weren't necessarily going to plan to talk in order of the thing. We're going to talk about the Rumbles mainly. We got to talk about the Fatal 4-Way. And I don't think there's going to be a great deal to talk about because let's talk about the Fatal 4-Way, actually. Nothing against it. The Undisputed Championship on the line and all that kind of stuff. Randy Orton, AJ, LA Knight and Roman. Normally when Roman... No, I'm not dissing the match. I thought the match was actually pretty good. But we've kind of almost stumbled into this formula of let's get Solo in here and interfere. Now, he did get a bit of a comeuppance, obviously, but we both sat here a couple of days ago and said that neither one of us really thought Roman was going to lose the title, and I think we both picked Roman to retain. But I mean, I'm not saying the match was bad. I am just saying there were better things on the Royal Rumble card, and I was assuming this was going to be the main event, or at least one before the men's Rumble, at least. I'm actually glad of where it was on the card because it played out. I'm not going to say I knew how the match was exactly going to play out, but it kind of did in a sense of how it was going to end and how things were going to progress with this like Solo getting involved. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I am growing tired of the Solo interference. I think that there's other things they could do. I like Solo. And I think they're trying to utilize him to the best of their abilities. And I'm not saying there's fault with that. And this match, I got to be honest, the more I looked at it, even through highlights, I wasn't crazy about it. Normally Fatal 4-Ways, and it's nothing against the competitors because I'm a big fan of all these guys, LA Knight, AJ Styles, and of course Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, the champion. I think I would rather have seen Orton versus Reigns, or maybe Styles versus Reigns, or if LA Knight wanted a rematch against Roman Reigns. I get the problems with the bloodline that all these guys had that would, motivate them to be in a match in this situation. But I got to tell you, is it me or am I getting tired of the table spots where the head's banging like a basketball? That's starting to grow old with me. I don't know if it's because I'm getting a little older now. I know there's a rhyme and reason, but it's starting to get on my nerves. And
oh, okay.
And it's not that everything was bad. I don't want to sound like these guys were not working hard. I mean, some of the action was good. It's just I think we're kind of seeing a pattern that it's hard to deviate from the formula, but you almost want to see something different. I think to the point of Solo having to get involved and having probably too many stars. I mean, I know you want the name identity for the brand and for it being the Royal Rumble, but I would rather have seen one of these guys take on Roman one-on-one. I just think there was so much going on when you have these triple threats and fatal four-ways that are interesting, yet they kind of take away from a regular one-on-one matchup.
I know exactly what you mean. I think maybe it's probably because my assumption is, I mean, what have we got before WrestleMania? We got Elimination Chamber, haven't we? Is that it, or have we got another? No, I think that's it, isn't it? If I remember rightly, we've got
Elimination Chamber should be the only other stop before Mania.
So if obviously it links in with what happened in the Rumble, the men's Rumble. Is this the last time we'll see Roman until WrestleMania, possibly, in terms of being in the ring and having an action? So, because I will admit, the way they built the match was fine. I'm not, but it's become a little bit too obvious, I guess, is probably the better way of saying it. Like you said,
you could see through it.
Yeah, you knew, and that's not to say the match, because I knew you kind of already had this thing of like, well, Solo's going to get involved and this is going to happen and, blah, blah, blah. You kind of had less opportunity to be like surprised by it, I guess, which there was no real surprise in it. It does feel very much like a, let's do this to get to here, and that's fine. But the way the Randy Orton story was playing out and stuff, with him returning and all that kind of stuff, I actually thought it was going to be Randy versus Roman, to be honest. But it's a good way of getting, I guess, these so LA Knight to get his rematch. I'm using air quotes there, and AJ to a degree. But where does Randy go from here? I mean, we got Elimination Chamber coming up. I'm gonna, obviously anybody who's listening to this knows. I would hope that knows that Cody's won the Rumble, which we'll get into in a little bit. But assuming Cody, and based on the way the Rumble ended, Cody was pointing right at Roman. So we've been saying for almost a year on this show, it obviously had a bit of a gap, but that we believe it should be, if Roman's going to lose the title, it should be Cody, surely. The way, and nothing against that World Heavyweight title. We said this on this show as well, Tyler, didn't we? That nothing against the World Heavyweight title. And Seth Rollins has been a great champion, but considering Cody's mantra was, I need to win this title because nobody in my family's ever won this title, and that's the WWE, obviously it's known as the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship at the moment, but they are starting to drop it, I've noticed. Certain wrestlers are starting to say WWE Champion again. It hasn't quite gone yet because it's still been using the announcers, but nothing against Seth Rollins, but for me, and again I think Tyler as well and most of us, Cody should be beating Roman. Obviously, that's yet to be seen, but there's not much more I can say about the Fatal 4-Way. I think you're right. The ramming the head into the table a few times and then just doing it. It's almost like I get it's kind of some of the.
It's in every match. Normally, I see what they're doing. It's no disqualification, so you can get away with just punishing your opposition by telegraphing his head into a broadcast table. But when certain spots are overdone, even from a fan's perspective, like myself, I just grow a little bit tired of seeing the same type of segments. It's like, give me something different, a little bit fresh. I mean, don't deviate too much, but I'm just kind of getting into that point of view anymore. When I see it, happen time and time again, I'm like, can we not try to do something else? And it's taken nothing away. You're so correct, Benny, because these are all four just future Hall of Famers. And it's a shame to say, listen, I didn't care for this match. It's not that it didn't have its good moments, but I just felt like, to your point, it's starting to become obvious, and like we've seen this movie again.
Yeah, and they just added an extra element with another person. I was just thinking, like, why? So we know the Bloodline's going to get involved. That's what the Bloodline does, whether it's Solo, Jimmy, or a combination of the two. We didn't see Jimmy this time, but then Jimmy was entering the men's Rumble, so I guess that's why. But the Bloodline have wronged a lot of people that are still on the roster. So why couldn't we not have, do you know what? You want to screw me? You want to screw me? I'll come out and beat Solo up instead of having the participants do it. Or if Jimmy did come out, then somebody else comes out from the back to fight off, to help fight the Bloodline. Because do you know what? It's working for the Bloodline. That's why Roman's part of the reason Roman is still heavyweight champion is because of interference. So I know it's the typical, the bad guys do it, the good guys don't. But surely by now, because of how long it's been, the Bloodline deserve a bit more of their own medicine. If that makes sense.
No, they do, and that's a good point. I didn't even envision it until you spoke about it. Why not have somebody that's not in the Rumble matches that still has their issues with the Bloodline come out and get some retribution to help even up the odds, the score, so to speak.
And then it would look more...
So, like you were just aforementioning, there's not much more to say or add. You pretty much summed it up.
But then you could just add that element of, so not only is Roman defending the title against 3 other men in a fatal 4-way, but now you've got the outside element of, these are people that we've wronged in the past, and then maybe one of them hits a move on Roman to make it look like Roman's going to lose. So add that extra suspense of, oh my God, Roman's going to... Oh no, he's kicked out. Or Solo breaks it up. Or then it breaks into a brawl. And then, those elements are removed and somehow Roman survives. Yes, he had a little bit of help, but not as much help as he's been getting. But I guess at some point that will come to bite Roman in the butt, because Solo may get to the point of like, do you know what? I'm sick of doing your bidding. Basically, you're your only champion because of me, or whatever.
And he turns on him.
Or even once the title's been lost, maybe we've spoken about this before. Roman loses the title. Solo's like, well, you've had your run as tribal chief. You're not even champion anymore. Maybe the money disappears as much as well. So these nice plane rides that they have and nice cars they have when they arrive at the arena start to dwindle, or only Roman has it for himself because there's less money now. So you could play on, there's several ways you could play on this.
No, you could. I mean, you're so right. There's multiple directions you could go with it. And I know why they do it, and I'm in agreement there. I'm almost wondering, and this is going to probably sound odd, and I understand it's Royal Rumble, you couldn't do it then. But what if Roman's still the champion, and you couldn't do it in an elimination chamber. Maybe you could. You could have like a what was the type of stipulation? And I can't, I'm wondering why I'm forgetful all of a sudden. But it was kind of a lumberjack where you had people outside the ring.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, lumberjack match.
I'm almost wondering why you couldn't do something. Maybe not with that many people, but something. I guess to your point, where it could lead into a type of scenario where the odds are evened up, but you can still find some way, logically, for Reigns to still survive. But it would make it more pleasurable for the audience to see the heels actually get their just due on them by having more of the baby faces around. And you could still have heels out there helping Roman. But this way, I'm trying to think of a way.
Well, you could just do it like in a way of like, so if somebody else gets involved and it's no DQ, which it was in Fatal 4-Way, you could have had somebody maybe it came down to, for argument's sake, because who actually took the pinfall was AJ, wasn't it, in the end? AJ Styles took the pinfall. And we kind of had it where I think it was I can't remember how it went down, to be honest with you. It was the AJ got hit by somebody. Oh, no, it was... oh, crikey. I've forgotten how it went down, to be honest with you. That's not really good.
No, it's okay. It's hard to recall everything, Benny, and I think you're right, though. It was Styles, to go down to Roman after the interference and everything. There was so much moving parts with this matchup and everything, because wasn't it AJ Styles that hit the phenomenal forearm that kind of led to the end of the match? That's from what I can recount. Yeah.
But I was just wondering with these outside, say if we did it the way the outside interferences and stuff, like somebody could have gone to swing the chair at Roman but misses and hits one of the participants, and Roman gets the win off a freak chair shot, which then leads into another rivalry with whoever hits the person with the chair. And then Roman goes on his way on to, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania or whatever. But either way, I think we've talked more about what could have happened and should have happened than actually what the match was. The match was good, but it I don't think any of us were surprised that Roman won and the way he won.
And you are correct. It was AJ Styles that took the spear.
There we go. Yes, yeah. I can't remember what happened in between before that happened, but yeah.
No, well, and here's the truth, folks. It's hard even when you watch it, and even if you were to write down notes, because there is so much going on. Even when you're paying attention to something, it's just bound to happen. That's why I was trying to remember the stipulation of the lumberjack, because I was trying to in my recollection try to figure that out. How they would present it, and see it happens. But
the lumberjack matches
that's why we make the tag to each other.
Yeah, the lumberjack matches are okay. I wouldn't say necessary, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I don't know. Just be nice for once. I know the good guys have got to be the good guys and stuff, and not be the way but the Bloodline's been doing this for over 3 years. So it's like, come on, guys, come on. Maybe it's time if you want the. Although I will say, there was a comment made on commentary by Michael Cole about the fact that fans moaning that Roman only defended the title so many times and stuff, which I get, but he made the comment of, well, beat him then. So
yeah, I thought it was brilliant. I mean, that's a good way to stick it to our fickle minds sometimes, and I'll even put myself in the same category. Michael Cole was pretty much telling everybody to go fickle themselves. I was proud.
There it is.
Yeah.
T-shirts are available.
Yeah, you've been missing that, huh? You want more of this kind of personality? No, I tease, but truly, what a profound statement. And Michael Cole is he's terrific anyways. And that was just, I'm glad you brought that line up, BenNy.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly go through we'll do the Rumble matches after, because I think that's the main thing that was the thing. But because you look at this card, there's literally Women's Rumble, Fatal 4-Way for the Undisputed title, the United States Championship, and then the Men's Royal Rumble. And that's it. And do you know what? I wasn't missing anything else, I tell you. 'Cause the United States Championship match, the way they did this, Tyler, I thought was actually really clever. It was very clever. So Logan Paul champion defending against Kevin Owens, who won the tournament. A great back and forth. Logan Paul, as much as I say this every time, we want to be the guys who, Logan Paul's shit, blah, blah, blah. He's not though, is he? He's really good.
No, he's very talented. I think that's what makes people dislike him even more, and why
he can, how dare you be that good?
It on his mic skills, and why people want to see him get beat up. It's a whole point. It's pretty fundamental actually. But yeah, I'm the same way. I wouldn't be crazy about this guy, but he's proven everybody that he can go. He's an athlete.
He's absolutely, everybody's been in the ring. Yeah, all right. You could say that the people he's been in the ring with are like top of their game, which they should be. They're in WWE, but they somehow managed. And I love the way this story played out. I also love the fact that we got this on commentary. That I think it was Corey Graves that said it, that nobody can suplex Kevin Owens from the top rope. And then Logan Paul shouting at Corey, hey, look at this, I'm going to do it. And then Owens reversed it again. It's almost like the Ric Flair.
And he still can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the Ric Flair, like diving off the top rope thing, isn't it? Where
Flair could never hardly come off the top rope. Somebody was always going to catch him.
I think only once that I've seen Ric Flair ever land it, and that was against Carlito. I forgot what year, but it was for the Intercontinental Championship, and he actually hit the double axe handle. The whole crowd erupted like they had just...
He did it.
He did it, and then he won the Intercontinental Championship on that particular show as well. And I always remember that, because I'd seen Ric Flair's career mainly in WWF. I've seen a few older tapes and stuff, but I didn't really see anything of Ric Flair until he came in 2001, early 2002. No, late 2001 into 2002 when he was the owner.
You were correct. It was about, latter 2001.
Because it was after he was the guy that brought the stock, didn't he, that Shane and Stephanie sold to buy WCW and ECW. So yeah.
Yes. He was the one he was the rival for... the ownership of WWE was Flair. He was actually being the babyface in the situation.
Yeah, that's where it started the whole draft thing, because Ric Flair was a 50-50 owner and ended up having Raw, and Vince had SmackDown, and eventually Vince got control again and blah blah. But anyway, Yeah, so the brass knuckles. I've forgotten Logan Paul's mate, whoever comes out and brings in the brass knuckles.
They kept calling him Jack or Jeff. I never could recall his name clearly. It wasn't their fault, but it's a way maybe I was hearing it.
I mean,
he's always got one of his cronies, don't he? I mean, even Michael Cole does it perfectly when he says, "Yeah, what's this idiot doing out here?" I'm, of course, paraphrasing, but the way Michael Cole relates, I think it's so important what they do on commentary to relay the stories. That I'm like you, Benny. You've done some commentary. I have too. Our ears automatically go to what Cole or, for example, Corey Graves or Pat McAfee are saying. It's vital to the story.
Yeah, it bridges that, especially it bridges the gap for the person watching at home like ourselves. So it is a bit weird going to a live event and not having commentary because I'm so used to watching it on TV. So
it's very weird. I mean, you understand it because they're not always going to be at the live events, but we're so accustomed to watching a Raw or SmackDown or any wrestling show where there's commentary, and it always feels a little bit off, but. I guess it's the way it is when it's just house shows, as they call them.
I mean, so Logan Paul basically gets handed brass knuckles, puts it on, but goes to hit Kevin Owens, blocks it, manages to get the knuckles off Logan Paul, and actually hits Paul in the face. Like, oh my God, he's going to win the US title here. And it's almost weird because Kevin Owens has been screwed by the referee and Logan Paul by the referee but he hasn't been because the referee's doing his job. So, but the referee goes 1-2 and sees the brass knuckles on Kevin Owens' hand and goes, "You've used that," and then disqualifies KO. So it was a good way of getting KO out of it without him. I mean, yes, he's not walking out with the US title, but it gets him out of it without actually walking out with it as well. But it's the irony of it with the brass knuckles and stuff that's happened with Logan Paul leading up to this point. But yeah,
where Paul escaped. I mean, without even getting caught. Normally, he's the perpetrator.
Yeah, it's. Do you know what? I enjoyed it. To be fair, it's again, I wouldn't say it was. I'm not going to say it was a bad match, but I enjoyed it. I think I probably enjoyed the United States Championship match. I will say this: I enjoyed the US title match more than I did the Fatal 4-Way. To be honest,
I did too. I mean, I've got to be transparent as well, Benny. I thought there was a lot more to this match, and maybe, to be fair, like I was stating before, as we were talking, I prefer sometimes a good one-on-one, and I think that it proved my point. Not that I'm right all the time, but certainly not. It's just from my money or my opinion. Not money, that'd be nice, but Owens and Paul, what they were able to do, I mean, with the brass knucks and then the aggressive nature of it, and then the interference with Waller and Theory, that was another element to the affair. And Logan Paul and Kevin Owens, they had chemistry. You could tell these guys wanted to work together. It was any Kevin Owens match I've seen, I've grown more fondly of him because you can tell this guy's gritty. He likes going out there and just giving it his all, and so does Logan Paul, love him or not. And that was a good marriage. And what I mean by marriage, it goes back to chemistry. It was good to have these two having a match.
I think it's got to the point now that if you're a talent in WWE, if you're not a fan of Logan Paul, that's fine. But because near enough every match Logan Paul's had, maybe the exception of the tag matches, maybe when he first started, but the match he had against Roman, the matches he had against Rey Mysterio, even Miz, to be fair,
and Roman,
yeah, they've all been good. So it's to the point of if you can't have a good match with Logan Paul, I think because he's had matches with these people and they have been good, you can't then turn around and go, well, I think it's Logan Paul's fault. It might be because I'm under no illusion that obviously Paul is still being told, and as rightly should, he's still a rookie really. So he's in there with people that have been doing it for 20 years, 10 years, whatever. You always put.
He has. I mean, he's still very young in his career, but that's what's been impressive.
But yeah, I almost feel like, again, it pains me to say this, but I don't think you can have a bad Logan Paul match. The only thing that will probably get Logan Paul in trouble, genuinely, is if he maybe goes rogue on a promo maybe, and he goes a bit too far with it, because he can say some stupid shit. We all can.
He can push the envelope, but it doesn't always mean it's a positive.
Exactly. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, we also saw Austin Theory and what's his bloody? I've forgotten his name.
Grayson Waller.
Thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue. I was just looking at it.
I mean
Grayson Waller. I like,
say
by the
enough
way.
good things about those two.
Yeah, I like that. I like that duo because they haven't done not a lot lately. Austin Theory, look where Austin Theory was and to where he is now, and I still rate Austin Theory. That match he had not long ago where he hurt himself with Carmelo. Was it Carmelo Hayes? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Carmelo Hayes. I think it was a Spanish fly off the top.
That's it. Yeah, I'm glad they're both okay. So, and we got to see a match this past week on SmackDown as well. So. Man, I'm looking forward to seeing what. I mean, well, let's get into it, man. Let's do it. I mean, I think we're going to do the men's rumble, aren't we? I know we said we were going to do it all, but I think we both. Nothing against any of the the matches, but I think we're both in agreement that we both enjoyed the women's rumble. Not to say that the men's was bad either, but
I just felt like it was done so superbly. And it continues. I think, to your point, Benny, we've talked off air that I think last year too there was something special about the women's Royal Rumble matches.
Well, this is it. This is interesting. So I'm looking online right now at the because we don't really do grades, do we? We just talk about the match and what we like and what we do like.
I leave that to other people. I'm not going to mention that. I don't do grades.
On CBS, they've rated the men's Rumble a B, and I believe they've rated the women's Rumble a B minus. So just saying that the women's was slightly not as good as the men's, which I don't agree. I think we're gonna have to talk.
No, I'm gonna have to throw up my hand on that one.
As I got a flag on the play on that one, because I think the women's one was
exactly
better.
the football analogy. That's a foul.
I mean, man, right. So let's talk rumbles then. We'll go through the men's and then we'll go through the women's. But either way, I liked both. But if I had to give an edge, I would say the women's. But so So both rumbles had an excellent start, by the way.
They did. I can't complain about how they begun.
No, Jey Uso starts main event. Jey Uso, great fan response. Great interaction, all that kind of stuff. The crowd and my reaction was very similar when Jimmy Uso's music came on. I think you could hear the audible, it's almost like a gasp of and then oh God, here we go. So
it was unexpected. A lot of people didn't think it'd be 1 and 2.
It was a great moment actually to have them start. It reminded me of the Hardys back at 2001. Now they didn't start the Rumble, but they did face off in the Rumble, and it ended up. I think that's one where Drew Carey ended up going in, and the Hardys eliminated themselves, and Drew Carey's in the ring by himself for a brief moment until Kane came out. But the audible gasp from the crowd when Jimmy Uso's music come on was brilliant, and the reaction, and then to see these two actually go at it, because we haven't really seen them, have we, go at it, to be honest.
We haven't. That's what made it so significant. And what I like too, Benny, is I like how they milked it a little bit. It wasn't let's hurry up and brawl, because you wanted to entice everybody with a moment. To your observation, it was just such a cool highlight for the men's Royal Rumble.
I mean, I don't feel like it is. I mean, a lot of people are saying Jimmy versus Jey at WrestleMania. I'm not opposed to that, but that could have been the potential. Because neither one eliminated each other. I believe Jimmy Uso got eliminated by Braun Breaker, and Jey was actually eliminated by Gunther. So neither one really cost each other the match. So not that you necessarily have to, but there's a lot of history there. Maybe we do have it at Mania. I don't know, but it was a very good way to start the Rumble, I thought, and again, I
think to even tease us a little bit, even if we don't get it till later this year.
Yeah. Number 3, Grayson Waller come out, started spouting off some stuff again, get over it or whatever it was he was saying. Yeah, I do like him on the mic.
Something along those lines, but I'll tell you, I became more of a fan of his. I mean, you have to start understanding how wrestling works, and he's the arrogant Aussie for a reason. I mean, and this is why, because he comes out, brings a mic, and he's already running his mouth and getting himself in trouble.
I loved it. And then obviously it all broke. So that's number 3. Again, both Rumbles did this as well, but they filled up rather than like one in, one out, one in, one out. We're actually starting to see the Rumbles, fill out rather than it being like relatively empty. Do you know what I mean? You have moments sometimes, but
I thought that was a nice approach, actually. Nothing against the other Rumble matchups from the past, but I actually did not mind this facet of it. I thought it was important to let everybody fill in enough to where it's not all the eliminations are not so quick, where everybody gets an opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go every single entrant number, by the way, but I am going to go to number 4 because finally somebody that I've wanted to see back in WWE for years, Andrade Cien Almas, is now back. I didn't recognize the music at first. It's kind of I think it sounded like it was kind of like his old music, but sort of slightly different. Of course, he had that mask, and then I realized it was Andrade. I was like, oh my God. So I was really cool to see
yeah, he's
Andrade.
back.
It's so cool to see him back. I'm not going to lie. I was a big fan of his in NXT. His development down there was brilliant. I loved the storyline they did where he was kind of like the party. Yeah, don't worry about it. I lost the match, but I'm going to go out and party now. And then I think I spoke about it before on the show, but Zelina Vega comes in and, sort of straightens him out and he became NXT champion. That Hammerlock DDT, we didn't see it in the Rumble, but I love that finisher personally. I'm a big fan of the DDT, but the Hammerlock DDT that he used to do, I don't know whether he still does it, because I've not really seen any of his run out of WWE, to be honest. So, I mean, did he? I mean, you may have seen it. Did he have a good run in AEW, or?
He had a solid run in AEW. I just think with anybody coming over from WWE to AEW, especially those NXT alumni that were under Triple H and his regime, and even on the main roster with Triple H, I think it was frustrations creatively because it wasn't all Triple H, to be fair. And this is not trying to just, be a critic. It just is what it is, as the old saying goes. I think Andrade had a pretty decent run in AEW. I was happy that he was there and for that fan base, and you have some that carry over, I'm sure. I just think some of those guys got kind of lost in the shuffle with Tony Khan, and I'm not trying to rag on the guy. I just think it's the experience of WWE and somebody like Triple H that once some of these stars return, I mean, they're home. That's what they mean. They find their destination for success, and he's got to be excited to not only be in this matchup and to be back, but all the creative opportunities that he'll now receive because it's a new administration and it's new ownership now with TKO. So I think that the appeal is what I meant alone. You're going to see a lot more people from AEW and other promotions start to come over to WWE. That's a mouthful, and instead of the other way, going to AEW. And I like them all. I'm supportive of all these promotions, but you have to be real. I think WWE just has so much momentum. We've talked about it, Benny, and especially with the Triple H men and women. He just has a special rapport with those individuals, and thus we're seeing them make these big returns. And I'm glad he saved Andrade for the Rumble. It makes sense.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I feel like now. I know Charlotte's out at the moment because obviously I believe they're married in real life. That's what I read.
No, they are. They're actually a married couple.
But I could see maybe Andrade on Raw rather than SmackDown. But, things change. Obviously, I'm hoping we have a better draft this year rather than just GMs coming out. I'd like to go back to the format of having matches and having the reveal like we used to back in the day. I actually enjoyed that. Because then they come out on the top and grab a T-shirt, and then I'm going to be a SmackDown person or an NXT person or whatever. Obviously back in the day it was Raw, SmackDown, or maybe ECW. But,
right.
But yeah, I actually see one thing I wish they hadn't done in the men's Rumble. This is my only. It's not even like I just wish they hadn't done it. It wasn't. I didn't think it was bad, but all this Final Testament stuff with Karrion Kross and Paul Ellering and AOP. I would actually rather had Karrion Kross not been in the Rumble. But when Bobby Lashley was in, because the rivalry they're having on SmackDown at the moment, I would have rather had Karrion Kross and AOP. I know it's annoying because they're not in the Rumble, but it's a no DQ. to come out and eliminate Bobby Lashley from the Rumble, even though he's not in it, just to stop Bobby Lashley from moving on to WrestleMania, obviously taking his chance away from him to potentially win the Rumble, rather than having Bobby Lashley eliminate Karrion Kross. I'm not saying it weakens Karrion Kross, but like he didn't have a great run before he disappeared for a couple of months. I don't think it was a bit sort of floundering a little bit. So I just would have done that differently. I just would have had Karrion Kross in AOP in the Final Testament essentially cost Bobby Lashley his spot in the Rumble, whether that's a beatdown backstage or even, like I said, running down and using AOP and Karrion Kross to eliminate Bobby Lashley. Because that's, I never understood the rule, but it is no DQ. But once you're out the ring, you're in the Rumble. Once you leave the ring via the top rope, then you're out. But I just feel like in terms of that rivalry, I felt that it would have been more of a builder going forward.
I mean, so what you're saying, it would have extended the rivalry in a lot of ways.
I think so.
For me,
I don't think it's over. I don't think the rivalry's over, by the way, Tyler. But I just feel rather than doing it the way they've done it, it would have been maybe and it would have been a real heel move to eliminate somebody, to go in and eliminate somebody from the Rumble when you're not in the Rumble yourself. So I just felt like it would have been a better option.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I see where you're coming from, no doubt. Personally, just for me, I didn't mind it. I think because you brought it up, the no disqualification, and a lot of what you were relaying, they were trying to do, but an elimination would have made it seem a little more important. However, I didn't mind it because it kind of gave the Street Profits. I think even if it's something as basic as let's get these guys involved because it's still an angle and we can run with it. And that's how I kind of broke it down the more I reviewed it and even watching Circa the highlights. But, I mean, you bring up some fascinating analogies, but I got to be honest, I actually didn't mind it.
I mean, Karrion Kross did eliminate Bobby Lashley after he'd already been eliminated anyway, so I suppose they kind of still did it, but I don't know. That's the only real thing. I mean,
that's why I love our conversations. I mean, we're kind of bringing up some neat ideas, especially you, and I'm just kind of trying to analyze them myself. And but to be fair, he did, and but I see what you're meaning. If he was able to be in the ring and eliminate Lashley, it would have kind of, I think, made this angle seem even more headline because it's a Royal Rumble. We've seen these teams face off on SmackDown, or at least the confrontations and the vignettes. I will say, how are you liking Paul Ellering and Scarlett and Karrion Kross with AOP?
I loved AOP. I don't think we've seen the best of it yet at all, have we? We've only just started this, but it makes sense. It made sense to me when I saw them with Karrion Kross. I thought it was going to breathe new life. I just don't want it to be a Bray Wyatt type. Right, so I'll not a Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt. There was a few times that he got built up and then sort of like he lost matches you thought he should have won. But let's use the other way of looking at it. Let's use this actual Rumble. So Logan Paul has walked out with the US title, but Kevin Owens lost that match. Yes, he got disqualified, but he's left that match looking like he's won.
He's still strong and then hurt.
So whereas I feel like Karrion Kross needs that at the moment to elevate this Final Testament thing.
Yeah, again, he needs at least that monumental victory. And I'm not saying it's got to be monumental, just something that you're going to go, wow, he did it.
Because he
got over somebody. And that's true because I felt bad for him. The more I learn about a lot of these wrestlers, men and women, I start gaining a whole nother level of respect because I know how – I don't know. Let me rephrase that. I mean, I can only imagine how hard the work ethic and the physicality, the training, and actually developing these characters has to be. And I think under Triple H getting more creative, his team and whoever that may be, I know of a few possibly, but I don't want to just guess and assume. I think Karrion Kross will he'll be very successful. And this New Testament, I'm with you. AOP, it looks great. I mean, think about it on a premium live event poster or a SmackDown card. The visual with Scarlett, too. I don't mind that she dyed her hair because, to me, that fits. It kind of represents a change in a new era for their personas.
Yeah, I mean, we got to give it time, haven't we? That's the biggest thing we've said on this
Yeah,
podcast.
we do.
We've got to give it
Sometimes
time,
we do want things maybe not rushed, but we. How would you describe it? I'm asking more questions and giving answers, but yeah, I mean it's true. But I mean, I guess that's what makes this stuff fun, though. I mean, it really does.
We got to mention. So we saw the return of Sami Zayn as well, which we kind of thought about. With number 30 came in. We saw the return of Omos as well. We hadn't seen him for a while on TV.
Yeah, a lot of people we hadn't seen it, and that's why I think it's important that these Rumble matches remain special, because it also helps us, it's a reminder that the talent is should be regarded as very important and special, and we saw it.
Got to mention Braun Breaker. Had I think he eliminated 4 altogether, and not just like 4. I think
he tied Cody Rhodes with 4 eliminations, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to go back. You'd probably have to research for me to clarify.
He eliminated Finn Balor, Jimmy Uso got eliminated by Braun Breaker as well. I can't remember who else. He eliminated quite a few people very quickly, now I'm reading stuff online earlier that apparently the spot for Braun Breaker was meant to be Brock Lesnar's.
That's what I was reading as well.
Whether that's true, I have no idea. But I don't. Regardless, would it have been cool to see Brock Lesnar? Yeah, of course it would have been. But Braun Breaker had a great showing. And is this? I've been wondering when Braun Breaker is going to get called up from NXT. Now maybe it'll be after WrestleMania. Maybe it'll be before. I don't know. There's a lot of people down in NXT that I think are just lying in wait, aren't they? Maybe it'll be after Mania.
It's going to be sooner rather than later, and especially when we're discussing Braun Breaker, the way he can hit the ropes, the explosive offense. Sure, Lesnar would have been a big return, but I'm kind of happy it worked out differently for Braun Breaker, because that's what I'm meaning. NXT stars are getting their opportunities in these Rumble matches to be showcased, and that's exactly what we were given with Braun Breaker. I mean, what a showing he had.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Again, I liked the Rumble. Miz came in at like 25, I think. But we saw, and obviously Punk was in the Rumble. That was cool to see. I understand reading online he may have an injury, but obviously, unless you know anything more than I do, but I've read that he may.
Only probably what you've read about. He's got a possible injury or something, or is injured. I shouldn't say possibly, from the reports that, like you and so many, you stumble upon and read. So, just wish him the best. I don't know a lot right now.
Well, as I said, as you're listening to this podcast, I'll remind you that the Raw hasn't happened yet. So we will, obviously, we'll get into that in the week on this podcast. We'll be back on Thursday. But yeah, I'm hoping it's not serious. But I will say, I think we sat here. I think we both kind of said we think Cody's going to win, but I think I went Gunther and Cody based on the promo I saw on Raw. But obviously, there's other ways to get to that. But Cody winning from number 15. Not only has he won it from number 15, he's also won it 2 years in a row, which hasn't happened since Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is 20-something years. So,
it's a great achievement to win a Rumble matchup back to back. Not too many people. You said it. What legendary company, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And and Cody Rhodes pointed at Roman Reigns. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
He wants Roman, and I love Roman's expressions, and Heyman too. When he pointed, Roman held the title up. You tell he was not pleased. He was probably hoping maybe Cody would point to Seth. But nevertheless, I just love the body language of a lot of these wrestlers. It plays into the psychology part of it, and I'm such a fan of it.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I reckon they might tease Seth and Cody, and now we've had that, and I'm not disputing that match could be bloody good. But let's face it, the story goes through Roman, doesn't it? So
yeah, it's going through the tribal chief. Nothing against Seth. Seth is one of the greatest workers. Of any era. Not just the contemporary era. Seth Rollins. A lot of the old school wrestlers would have to admit. It's just a faster style, but you got to give it up for the visionary Seth freaking Rollins.
I would so if Punk is injured and genuinely can't wrestle, that might lead into the Gunther match we were talking about last week. So that would be quite good. The Gunther. I know you want to see Gunther.
I mean, anything with Gunther attached to it, you've got my attention.
I know you want to see Gunther Brock, but let's Brock's going to need.
Yeah, I think that may be on hold now. Just to be honest, but that would be a great match. However, I'm trying to think of other opponents that could be logical for Gunther after this Rumble matchup. I'll tell you who could be a great pair. He replaced Brock in the Rumble. I wouldn't mind after the interaction and the way he picked up Gunther and the way Gunther sold for him. How about Gunther and Braun Breaker if he gets called up?
Braun Breaker versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship at Elimination Chamber. That would be freaking...
Did you say take my money, take the popcorn, whatever? I mean,
on last week's show, I said take
that.
my money. Man, that would be a great match, to be fair.
But yeah, seriously, it would be... It would be just
take my popcorn. Take my popcorn now. Take my money and make the popcorn because I'm watching this.
Yeah, there you go, and put the butter on it. The extra butter. Yeah.
Oh man! Oh,
I love how we're coming up with these things. Go fickle yourself, but by the way, can you get me some popcorn and take my money because I want the Braun Breaker versus Gunther match. I want to see Gunther chop Braun, but I also love how Braun can pick him up, and you just got two very talented guys. Two different styles, but it works because Braun's more explosive. Gunther's explosive in his own way with the chops and more the traditional style of wrestling, thus Imperium. So
yeah,
I'm already sold.
Wait, well, let's see if Cy Powell listens to our podcast, and we'll go that T-shirt idea. Take my money, get the popcorn.
So, Cy, are you hearing what we're speaking to you about these merchandise ideas, Cy?
Do I have your attention now?
Yeah, Cy Powell, and I mean we've complimented him, gave him shout outs, and we appreciate Cy with all sincerity, but having some fun with him. I think BenNny's on to something.
Mate, it'd be cool. Men's Royal Rumble. I liked it. I can't say I hated it at all. Cody winning it, staring down Roman from afar. Obviously, he's Roman up in the skybox. It's got to be right. It's got to be Cody.
I would think Roman, but I'll tell you, going back to the skybox, I actually enjoyed seeing Seth and Roman sitting in the skybox. It just gave it a feel like they're the champions. They're getting to look down and scout the competition, possible contenders. So I always think the visual of them two sitting up there is, that's always been fascinating to me, and the way they were able to present it this year.
Yeah, it was good, but it's like the champions are scoping out the possible competition. Who's going to win?
Correct.
Are they going to come for me? Are they going to go for Raw? Do you know what I mean? So, and like you said, Roman's face was brilliant. Even through the match when it came down to CM Punk and Cody, they showed him as well. And the comment, we talked highly of it, of the promo that Cody and Punk had on Raw before Rumble, and hence, take my money. CM Punk versus Cody. Take my money.
That's where it started. BenNny coined it back in that last episode.
But it was just a case of I feel like the Raw thing was kind of a test for the crowd, and I almost feel like the Rumble, as it was playing out, you could hear pockets of CM Punk chants and stuff to a degree, but it was, I would say, it was definitely Cody's night.
Mainly Cody, yeah.
So,
and was Punk, and I don't mean to interrupt you, BenNny, but Punk was kind of going heel a little bit, wasn't he?
I feel like he was, especially with the promo.
Or maybe he was kind of teasing us because they were both kind of baby faces, but to your point, the reaction was mainly Cody. You would hear some far off kind of CM Punk chants, but it was mainly dominated by the American Nightmare and the way he did the pedigree, the little nuances I thought were, because somebody actually brought this up, I can't take the credit for it, but it makes me think, CM Punk was kind of wondering maybe they had to reverse course a little bit.
I'm wondering now whether that promo between Gunther and Seth was let's test it, see what it sounds like with the crowd, because maybe Punk had a niggle of an injury already, but they're also saying that he actually sustained the injury in the Rumble, according to the article I just read. So it's interesting to know whether that was a way of maybe Punk was injured but wanted to do the match to get to where they needed to get to. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of various ways they could go about it, but that's true. We don't think about it. The promos can often be how you test the waters and how the people are going to respond.
So if they knew that Punk maybe couldn't wrestle past Rumble, let's do Seth and Gunther promo and see what social media does, what the ratings do, what the crowd says. It could be. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe.
So, but let's face it, BenNy. Social media and the way the internet, how much power it possesses. I mean, why not? I mean, they're smart to use it.
Yeah. I mean, it's just speculation, obviously. Women's Royal Rumble, man.
My goodness.
I'm going to play a little clip because number 2 came out. I know you can't hear it, but I'm going to play a little clip quickly, and everybody's going to know what it is. I'm just going to play it now, and then we'll come back.
Our first surprise
Introducing entrant number 2 from Orlando, Florida, Naomi!
Guys, she's back! Absolutely incredible!
Absolutely incredible, the line by Corey Graves there. And Naomi, number 2 in the Women's Rumble. I already said this to you off air, but I'll say it for the podcast benefit, obviously. I'm watching the Rumble. I'm like, yeah, here we go. Natalia comes out, fine. Okay, cool. Who's going to be number 2? And then for a brief, the lights go out, the lights come up, and I'm like, and the music's playing, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's... Yes, it is. Oh, and I just popped. I was, oh my God, she's back. It's so cool to see Naomi back. She's had quite a year, to be fair. And obviously she went to TNA.
Oh, she has.
So I loved it. It was great to see her back. The crowd absolutely loved it as well. So I feel like both Rumbles kind of both had... So we had Naomi with the positive, and when Jimmy's music came out in the men's... there's almost like like I said earlier, the room went like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, there was a gasp.
Yeah, so 2 great responses. Naomi coming back. I'm so happy that she is back. And a good showing, to be fair, from her.
Oh, I mean, she's never lost a step. I mean, I think what's helped her is you brought it up with TNA and still polishing up her skills. Not that they needed to necessarily be polished up. Naomi's not missed a beat. I'm glad Feel the Glow, the movement is back, and I'm with you. We kind of speculated maybe she could be one of the ones she had announced where she was finishing up her run. That was a very good one because she was the TNA Women's Champion, the Knockout Champion, while she was there. But to see her back with the WWE and being number 2, I'm glad you brought that to our attention because her real life husband Jimmy was also number 2
as well, yeah,
in the men's Royal Rumble match. So that alone it makes it that much more cooler.
I like
returning.
I like the early. That got the crowd going, didn't it? Let's face it.
Because it grabs you.
It grabs you. I love the early surprise. So we've seen it over the years. Jericho did it when he returned, when Dolph Ziggler was already in the ring. Just bring him out already. Then Jericho's music hit. The place erupted because he'd been gone for a couple of months. And that was only a couple of months. AJ Styles' debut at number 3 in 2016. A great moment.
Yeah, a huge moment.
Bubba Ray Dudley is one of my favorites. I think it was 2015, the year before. Came in at number 3 as well. And that music, and he hadn't been in the company at that point, obviously, for about 10 years, I want to say.
It had been quite a while. I can't remember exactly, but I'm sure if anybody's got it right, it would be you. So that's why I refer to the great Benny Mac here.
I don't always get it right, mate, but I appreciate it.
Well, I know, but hey, just play along.
Oh, okay. I get it right all the time. It's Bailey comes in at number 3. Again, I love the Rumble. I also liked the so we had I got to mention her. I will mention her in a moment, but we had Asuka come in and Kairi Sane, and Bailey's reaction was brilliant. Like, oh, you're in the Rumble too, but then when they got eliminated later on, Bayley's reaction was, "What about the plan?" So it's what Bayley's almost playing like she knew they were going to be in the Rumble, but if you look at her face when Asuka came out, she didn't know. You could clearly see by her facial expressions.
You could see the shock a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
but
hey,
then also,
wait a minute. I thought we had the strategy. To your point, when meaning plan.
Let's face it, Bayley at the moment, she created Damage Control, but she is no longer in control of Damage Control. But she's still like playing the leader,
trying to pull the strings.
Yeah, but when the Kabuki Warriors won the tag team championships this past week, there was no high five for Bayley as well. So this story's playing out brilliantly, subtly in some cases, and straight in your face other times. So it's going to be interesting going forward with that. Speaking of TNA, I'm going to put Jordan. Is it Jordan Grace?
Yeah, no, it's Jordan. It's
Jordan
just spelled
Grace.
differently.
It's just spelled
Jordan
differently.
Grace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know who she was. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I did. I've actually watched a little bit at TNA recently now that it's back to TNA, so I might have to stick with it because I'm actually what I've seen. Nick Nemeth is over there now, aka Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, they've signed a lot of headline names.
But I won't take credit for this. But I was listening to a Sam Roberts. He's one of the ones I like listening to, and he was like, I like the idea of like, okay, we've had the TNA Women's Champion come in. I think Mickie James did it before, didn't she?
Yeah, Mickie James did it.
I like that, but also to make the Royal Rumble, men and women. So his idea was, it would be cool if they had this kind of relationship with other promotions like a TNA. I highly doubt AEW at the moment, but you never know.
I don't see a relationship just due to how social media is.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it alone.
Yeah. But I mean, doors and forbidden and all that kind of stuff. But my point is that his point was, wouldn't it be cool if the Royal Rumble was this like inclusive thing where somebody could get a call? Like, TNA, who have you got? Oh, we've been watching, so and so for the last year. Would he or she like to come into the said Royal Rumbles? And how cool that I'd like to make this world, because WrestleMania's bloody huge, so it would be good, I think, to have that. And it was his idea, not mine. But like, when he talked about it, I was like, I quite like that idea of having potentially someone come from TNA or New Japan or wherever if they have a relationship.
I can see a lot more partnerships, and I'm glad that Sam Roberts was mentioning that TNA could easily be working with WWE even later. Of course, this was a one-off, from what I understand. But Jordan Grace, to me, has the look, and she's currently their women's champion, the knockout champion. And what I enjoyed, BenNy, is you could continue storyline even though Naomi left. She was Trinity there.
Yeah.
And they were able to do it in this match. And I found it so entertaining. I'm like, they embrace and then they just start hitting each other.
I love that. The hug of
I loved it too. And that's the only other thing I was going to point out that I glossed over and I wanted to bring back up about the rivalry, even from another company. This match, this event in itself was able to give us more of a TNA rivalry in a WWE ring and arena.
Which you would never have got with WCW back in the day. It would never would have happened.
Oh, no, they were too competitive. That was the big difference. The two were competing, and they were definitely competitors.
I mean, does it beg the question, would WWE let, say, an AJ Styles return to TNA for something? Do you know what I mean?
I will say this. Now, it wasn't that he returned in the ring for TNA, but when they were doing some kind of special for the company, WWE was nice enough to let AJ Styles and some other, TNA alum send in these videos that were thanking TNA. I think it was an anniversary, from what I can gather. And so it begs the question, if they can form more of a working relationship, it would be neat, and it would help TNA if AJ Styles, even to make an appearance, even endorse somebody, even if he doesn't wrestle, can be involved in a promo segment or just hit somebody just to get a reaction. And but Nick Nemeth and I think Mustafa Ali and the former Dana Brooke have been signed. I've been kind of reading on it, not that I've been able to watch it. I think I've been missing out because I know you've kept up with it, and. and to know they've rebranded back from just Impact to TNA, they're trying to be an alternative. But I think it would be pretty awesome to see WWE and TNA work together or with the New Japan, because Okada's contract is up. I read a lot of people just assume he's going to AEW, but WWE also has interest in Okada, signing him, and it could be that maybe we see him at WrestleMania as a surprise. Not all the surprises could be just for the Rumble.
There you go, yeah. I mean, I was thinking earlier, I know we've gone off a bit of a tangent with TNA here, but I know they don't do the six-side, ring anymore.
Yeah, they got away from it. And I was kind of on the fence about it. I didn't care for it. I realized, though, if you're going to be different, you try different experiments. So it wasn't a terrible idea, but I think if you heard the wrestlers, the way they had to work in the ring, it was an adjustment. Because you hear Sting and a lot of the legendary guys, and even it was something I think they borrowed from Lucha Libre, AAA, and the whole concept of the six-sided ring. So when I first saw it, even as a fan, I'm like, whoa, this is unique.
Well, when you want the traditional channel surfers, you want something to stand out, and you go, what was that ring? As you're watching.
Sure,
it, so.
I mean, and exactly.
So, I mean, I was thinking earlier, maybe they could do, if they do Bound for Glory again, because I think that was their big pay-per-view of the year.
I think it was kind of their equivalent to their WrestleMania something.
But maybe once in a while they could do like a Bound for Glory, like a six-side match or something like that, or a six-side night, a bit like a War Games night type thing.
Why not? Kind of bring back some nostalgia, because War Games actually predates even WWE. If you look at the history, speaking of Cody, I think it was his father, Dusty, who started it back when it was NWA and then eventually WCW, and kind of even in the territories. So there's a lot of people like us clamor for nostalgia. And that's one more thing I wanted to mention, Benny. A lot of people were saying, why didn't we get more legends returning? I'm kind of glad we didn't, because no offense to seeing the icons of the industry, we don't need to see too much of the past with the new. I think it's important to get the newer stars over and to get the ones that are going to be established and the ones we're going to be talking about for this generation to be your main focus. And I wanted just to add that, because you're always going to have people going, and I know I've even talked to people, message them, and they're like, why didn't we get some on the women's side and men's? And I'm like, you know what? That's okay. I think this is part of the new vision for WWE. They're trying to kind of get away from, we got to have some big legend. Not that they don't admire them or use them, but they don't always need to bring them in for a rub all the time. You need to focus on your main roster and NXT, giving them this platform.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. One thing before we move on with the Women's Rumble, again, I absolutely love this. Alba Fire making a sort of Rumble debut, but I got to bring this up. R-Truth.
I think I know where you're going.
R-Truth, mate. I missed it out on the men's because I wanted to leave it for this bit, and I'll refer to the men's one in a second with him. But him coming out when Valhalla was coming out, it was like, and the way he looked at Valhalla and ran past, and then he Valhalla, because of the distraction, essentially got eliminated because of R-Truth. Adam, I love the fact that R-Truth thinks Adam Pearce is Nick Aldis.
Yeah, Nick Aldis.
Where's your hair gone and stuff like that, and it's brilliant. He just absolutely nailed. He's like absolutely nailed it.
I'm telling you, he is just his comedic timing, his timing in the ring when he wrestles.
But did you hear the response when his music hit?
Oh, I mean, people love him. I mean, he's still as over as he's ever been, and they loved him then.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy doesn't age. He still looks like $1 million, but I mean, he could do comedy. I mean, so you've got the perfect storm.
And he's good in the ring, man. He's so good in the ring. He's underrated.
Oh my gosh! And then seeing Valhalla want to kill him.
Yes.
That was just tremendous. When he was arguing, Adam Pearce was like, "Truth, this is the women's. You get this." He's like, "I thought it was the men."
And I love the fact he turns back. So you're telling me that's all women in there? It's like, what are you doing?
And I think it was Nia Jackson there, and I'm not saying this to demean her. It was funny because the look on her face and all the competitors, they were like, "Wait a minute, what's Truth doing?"
I'm wondering if the women knew, because something I didn't apparently. Pat McAfee obviously came back. He was on commentary. And apparently he didn't know he was entered in the Rumble, allegedly. Hence why he kind of, but if he didn't
wow,
know,
it seemed real. His reaction. Like,
yeah.
Hey,
But he
when
kind
is
of
music
looking at Omar and's like, yeah, no, I'm going to eliminate. He eliminated himself in the end. He did a Drew
Plus,
Carey.
he had those boots on. Even if he wanted to try to execute a move, I would think that would be pretty difficult in those boots.
I mean, if he didn't know, fair play to him for going along with it. A fair play to him. And then R-Truth finally turns up in the men's. Still a good pop for him. And then is stood on the apron trying to ask for a tag from Dominic Mysterio and Gunther. And he's like, what are you doing? It's a Royal Rumble match. What are you doing? And then Gunther grabs hold of Dominic. Dominic manages to squiggle out of it and then do a dive tag to get R-Truth into the Rumble. And I just like, what is going on?
And then JD.
JD as well. Getting eliminated.
He got him eliminated.
He got him eliminated. And then Tom and Nick Mysterio and all that stuff going on at the moment with R-Truth.
And I that's why we're laughing, because you have to go back and watch to appreciate R-Truth in these segments. It's must-see TV. And because that's where the comedic element, when it's done properly, works. And with R-Truth, it's a prime example of it working.
I tell you what, I mean, if the Awesome Truth doesn't work out, I reckon Santina Morella and R-Truth together would be absolutely hilarious.
Could you imagine the sock like Foley and then R-Truth with asking where Tom and Nick Mysterio are?
Yeah, and little Jimmy and all that. Little Jimmy here, I love the fact that
little Jimmy. That is so funny. And Damian Priest actually teasing that he likes him, but then wants to beat him up because he screws up things.
I'm interested to see where this. I know we're laughing about it in the comedy and stuff, but he's obviously in with the Judgment Day, and although Damian Priest did choke slam in, deep. What's it called? South of Heaven. Sorry.
Yeah, South of Heaven. It's still a choke slam though. They just
he just sits. It's a sit out choke slam, isn't it? Really, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just brilliant. And then we'll come back. Just everybody in the Rumble. We didn't really, like you said. You've already said it. I gotta give. I feel like I need to give MVP to Chelsea Green this year.
Chelsea Green has this run lately. It's hard to put into words, and I mean this as a compliment. She has just been incredible with the way she presents herself too, with being like the Karen, even going away from the Karen type personality, just always complaining to Adam Pearce. And I'll let you take it away, Benny. You just got to go back and watch this stuff.
Yeah, watch if you haven't seen it. Women's Royal Rumble was brilliant. Chelsea Green, obviously. So last year, Chelsea Green, if you don't know, got eliminated instantly when she returned. But this year, and it was teased a little bit like she was going to, but then she was just taking bump and accident off from Piper Niven. There was just being crushed in the corner by her own partner, and then and she just was like a rag doll for a little bit.
She could not get a break. Piper Niven was had her splattered with all, and that's not saying anything demeaning against Piper. It's just, you just have to see it.
She was almost like is it Mikey Whipwreck that used to get absolutely destroyed all the time for a brief period, where he would just get beaten up in ECW and not have an offensive move, but just take a beating.
He would just be dominated or be in the wrong corner and just he'd take a beating. And
fans ended up liking him because he could take a beating in that crowd, and that's a hardcore,
Yeah, that's the extreme crowd.
Yeah, and it works. So we've got to talk about it, man. I can't believe we waited this long to talk about it, but Jade Cargill, what a response. We finally seeing her. We saw her not long ago, obviously being sort of going to different brands within WWE. Jade Cargill, the response that she got, amazing. She looks amazing. The stuff they teased while she was in the Rumble with like blimmin' Bianca Belair and stuff and others. Then obviously we had Liv Morgan return as well, so that comes into it. But Jade Cargill, mate,
she's the real deal. I mean, if you wanted to carve out a wrestler, an athlete overall, I mean, it would be Jade Cargill. And I think everybody wants her versus Bianca. I think they wouldn't mind her seeing. Let me back up. They wouldn't mind seeing Cargill versus Becky Lynch or Rhea Ripley or Nia Jax. I loved how Nia Jax was so dominant, but then Jade Cargill came out and proved that, hey, you're not the only one in here, and picks her up with one arm flexes even, and then picks her up and and sends her over the top rope. That's an important elimination because Nia Jax has came back and been better than ever as far as I'm concerned, and that's one way to get over your new star. And Jade Cargill's definitely a star, and I saw a lot of people online, arguing and complaining about why is Jade Cargill not on TV, not on Raw, SmackDown. Well, here's your response for these type of moments right here.
Wrestling is, about the matches and stuff, but wrestling ultimately is about moments, and that was a hell of a moment.
It was.
And I like the fact that Michael Cole earlier in the Rumble, before Jade Cargill was anywhere near it yet, that they reminded us that Nia Jax last year, it took 11 women to eliminate her. And then Jade Cargill comes in, picks her up, slams her. It's like a Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant moment, and then picks her up and throws her out the ring. And it's like, holy
Just
crap.
like she was nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if she struggled with her, but it was just done so easily. It shows you just how strong the woman is.
Absolutely. I don't know where Cargill's going to end up. Potentially, for those who don't know, Bayley started at number 3, won the Rumble. And I think Bayley was my only real pick this year for the women's.
I think I selected her too. I think we both actually agreed that Bayley.
But set the women's record. So now, story-wise, for me, it does make sense that quite possibly the damage control stuff is... And also, Tyler, guess what didn't happen at the Rumble?
What?
Sasha Banks didn't return.
No, and it makes me wonder if she's going to... Because remember, I think I touched on this last week, your theory, and I liked it, about Banks returning and possibly aligning with Bayley. But there's also the rumor as well, can she go to AEW? Maybe she stays with Japan, the Japanese promotion, Stardom, I think it is. Or maybe it is New Japan, I don't know. But I kind of... would rather her be back in WWE just due to if damage control is going to turn on Bayley. We all know the real life friendship between Bayley and Banks, so why not? So what are you thinking, Benny? You tell me. Do you think the theory is going to come to fruition with WrestleMania?
I think in terms of who Bayley faces, she says it's going to be Rhea Ripley. Obviously, that's what was the plan. But the way she's being treated and the way the next few weeks, the next month plays out, I think we are going to see Bayley versus Io, to be honest, and the damage control is going to, fall apart a little bit. Now, whether we get
to be
Sasha,
fair, I want the match. I think between Io and Bayley, nothing against Rhea. I just think with the story going on.
I think Rhea. I mean, does Jade Cargill get a WrestleMania moment straight away? She bloody looks like a star. I don't see why not.
I mean, she makes an argument. I wouldn't say that about anybody, even if they were talented. You could see it, but. Cargill's, that's one thing about her, even in AEW, you could tell this lady's the real deal. She needs more time, and I know they've worked with her in the Performance Center, and she's credited. I just happened to got fortunate to read an article or see a headline where she credits AEW for getting her ready for this type of stage, getting the match reps.
Well, that's good.
And stuff. So that was nice of her. I'm glad to hear statements like that because I'm not on one of these sides, it's all this and that. People can't help what they like, but I do admire some comments where we don't hear tribalism or it's got to be this side. I mean, you can critique and like and not like what you want, but I always like fairness and honesty and just when even wrestlers that depart from another company, give them props and say, hey, with all the good that's happening in my life, I have to thank them for helping me progress and get this opportunity.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, no, it's better than hearing like, oh, I hated it there or whatever, or trying to diss it. Just
well, if you're miserable, and sometimes that's going to happen, and maybe it is best that they went somewhere else where they feel fulfilled and they are definitely happier, and I wish them the best. I don't. Because we never know what circumstances cause, whatever the scenario. But it is nice to hear others compliment, or at least it wasn't horrible. And it's part of wrestling. I mean, we've seen it through all the promotions. Contracts come up. You see what other opportunities you have. That's just human nature.
Yeah, absolutely. Strike while the iron's hot when you're, getting all that. I believe it came down to, it must have come down to, obviously Bayley won. Bayley, Liv, and Jade Cargill. The way they did this at the end was brilliant. and then Bayley just took advantage of Liv on the side of apron after going over the top. So there's a potential match there. Liv Morgan, Jade Cargill. I'm wondering whether we're going to see Rhea versus Becky at WrestleMania. That's yet to be seen. But
and you can't forget about Nia either, just because she got eliminated.
Absolutely, we've got Elimination Chamber coming up. Maybe we'll have a women's title match in the Elimination Chamber, or we'll have, once the Royal Rumble winners select their said champions. Now the Bayley one, she can. I don't know how quick this is going to turn. So I don't know. We've still got to wait for SmackDown, obviously, and Raw. So
yeah, a lot of the aftermath of what occurs next and what's going to continue to lead before Elimination Chamber and after it will be very telling on that road to WrestleMania. And
maybe Bayley tells them, "Oh yeah, I've picked Rhea. I've already spoke to Nick Aldis and done the contracts and stuff like that. Blah blah blah." But then maybe it plays out. I don't know. I'm actually. Cause we've gone from Damage Control, kind of like where's this going, to now I can't wait to see what happens. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there was kind of like the Bloodline. As good as storylines can be, sometimes they run into these stagnant parts of the story, and it's kind of the same thing with Damage Control. Now we're finally getting excited again about what is around the corner for them.
I'm actually excited for Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania. Obviously,
oh yeah,
so
and I got to tell you, you guys are probably going to be favorable. I know it's in Australia. I got news for you. I'm waiting till the next day to watch it because I'm a little lazy. I'm not going to get up at 5 a.m. and watch it. I mean, I could have some coffee and some breakfast ready. I guess that could help wake me up and get it through it.
I don't know what you like for breakfast. Obviously, get the coffee. That'll definitely keep you.
Yeah, the coffee at least is a must, regardless of what my meal choices are. But
yeah. I mean, Eddie, before we go, any sort of last bits that you want to talk about with the Rumble, or any favorite moment in particular that you have watched back since you've already watched? Obviously, I've watched Cargill's entrance, so it was amazing, and Naomi coming back for me was a cool moment as well. Cody winning, obviously, was a great moment. So, but yeah, and CM Punk's music hitting as well. And I'm excited for the video game this year because CM Punk should be on it.
Yeah, he should. I mean, another reason to buy the video game. For me, it was Jordan Grace. I must admit, and Cargill was huge. Don't get me wrong, and Naomi, but I think to get the TNA women's champion involved and to let her shine on that type of stage was big for me, and she was impressive. That's another one TNA better hold on to because I could see her having a lot of potential matchups in WWE, and I could see her being there. She proved her worth and why she's who she is, and she's come this far in her career. Bayley, I can't say enough good things about her. That was definitely one of my favorite moments. We both picked her. I think you could tell by the fans. Sure, she's betraying this heel character, but I think the babyface turn is coming due to the Damage Control stuff. But more importantly, Bayley going from the hugger Bayley to this newer vindictive Bayley, but yet has that annoying laugh and the interplay with Michael Cole. Seriously, is a workhorse, though. Out of the 4 horsewomen, with Charlotte injured and Banks possibly not coming back, maybe she is, and Becky Lynch even. I think Bayley has got to be a champion pretty soon, and whether that's Rhea or going after Io Sky. Bayley has been good about helping people be elevated, and I think a lot of her peers respect her, and the next generation look up to her. And a lot of those women that probably entered the Rumble from NXT, she was one of their influences. So for me, I think she's just very worthy of the moment. I think she needs that WrestleMania moment. She had the belts back in 2019, and she was a tag team champion, but it's been a while for her. And I think it's time we see Bayley get her moment and capture one of those belts. I
agree. She's kind of like that. I know she was out injured for a while, but since she's been back, and even before she was injured, she's like that. She's like consistently there and consistently performing. In the 4 horsewomen, you mentioned that. I know Becky was one of the last ones to sort of do championship, but she, I think that I don't want to say Bayley's underrated because she's not, but sometimes she's easy to forget about.
She gets overlooked without
overlooked. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Overlooked is a great way of putting it, yeah. And now this year she's not. Coming from number 3 as well. Brilliant. So
Yeah, and lasting, I think she went over an hour. I had to look it up. It's not like I could remember. And I'm just going to go to I liked the other 2 matches were not bad, the Fatal 4-Way. And I'm with you. I enjoyed the United States title match with Logan Paul and Kevin Owens more. As far as the men's Royal Rumble, I guess it's pretty obvious. Braun Breaker, his showing and the eliminations, Cody winning and CM Punk, I mean, hearing his music, Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser being, I think, the first German-born wrestler to have an appearance in the Royal Rumble, I read. And there was a lot of Omos and seeing Lashley. And it's remarkable to me to see a lot of the AEW stars, especially former WWE stars that became stars in AEW due to their names, like Cody and CM Punk and Jade Cargill on the women's side. Now you fast forward to 2024 or even 2023, and it's unbelievable. Who would have even thought that we would actually see CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill, and Andrade back too? He was there. And now I'm hearing maybe there could be more. And I'm not trying to stir the pot. It's all speculation. but you wonder, though, with contracts running up. And now with Triple H and his team and TKO, the appeal now. There's a lot of different administrations and moving parts. And The Rock, for crying out loud. So, there's a lot of appeal. I mean, I like AEW. I like TNA. I support them all in NWA. But it's just... It's hard not to want to go to WWE at least one time in your career. I mean, even though Sting remained loyal, for example, to WCW, he eventually made his way to WWE. I mean, he was in TNA there for a long time, and I'm a big fan of his and a lot of those guys. But eventually, he even admitted, he's like, yeah, there was always at least that one moment. I wanted that one WrestleMania moment. And so that's what I'm saying. Even for the not only legendary wrestlers, but the younger ones that are hungry, that are talented, and they want that spotlight of being in a WWE ring, and I can't blame them.
I just looked up earlier about Adam Cole quickly, and I think he's still technically, unless they buy him out, he's still contracted for AEW until 2027, I believe. And I think,
some of them it's going to be a longer. And I'm not saying they'll necessarily return right away. It may be due to Regal finally could show his face. It was in his contract. He could go back, but it took so much time for him to be able to appear on TV.
Malachi Black has got a lengthy one as well, but AKA Aleister Black in WWE. And that's another name, and Buddy Matthews, and I don't want to try to because it's all just rumors, but you could see it happening. I mean, they were under in NXT, they were not under, but in rather, and I think the House of Black's been neat. It's still sinister, and it's done wonders for Julia Hart and Brody King being associated with those two guys. But, Rhea Ripley and Buddy are set to be married. Selena Vega, I know people think we're nuts, but you think about the real-life relationship. Selena Vega's with Aleister Black. I think Charlotte pushed for Andrade to come back, and Andrade actually did AEW a favor. He got Ric Flair due to Sting, that relationship, and it being his last match for Flair, it was kind of a trade-off in a way for him to appear in AEW, which was cool. And so, and that's only what I've read. I'm not saying it's all true, but you can kind of see it unfolding. So you wonder that it's probably is. I mean, we're kind of witnessing it. So that's what I'm saying. So much news is flowing as we're recording, and I'm starting to recall, like you, all these facets. It's very interesting. Tyler, it's always a pleasure to chat wrestling with you. Let us know where we can find you, when your shows are out and all that kind of stuff. I know you're on SJP World Media with Tyler's Takedowns, but I know you do WrestleManiacs as well elsewhere. I think that's on SJP now as well, I believe.
Yeah, it's on SJP World Media. Thanks, Benny. It's always an honor, man. It's always a good time discussing wrestling with you. Yeah, Tyler's Takedowns, like Benny said, is on SJP World Media on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And WrestleManiacs has now been on SJP World Media. We go live on YouTube a lot of times either Saturday or Sundays accordingly. And when I'm able to, and Benny gives me the invite, I'm on his great show in the corner of WWE with the great Benny Mack here. And hey, go check out, I think it's the Volley Show and all these other non-wrestling related shows, the Doctor Who Pod, the ones that Cy and Danny and Benny do together. It's and you know better than me. Just there's a variety of just great shows. I want to shout out real quick to Tony Entertainment with Tony Miller. He's had me guest on his shows, be co-host on some pretty cool projects. So I've been meaning to shout him out on here, and just want to thank him and everybody that supported me. And I hope I'm giving the support back, man.
Mate, I appreciate it. I just realized my mic was off. I really appreciate it.
Worry about it. Sometimes I've hit my mic. I'm so excited about the Rumble. I forgot I better not give it a stunner. I'm going to need it. So.
Well, thank you very much, Tyler. I appreciate it. Yeah, you can follow myself at BenNny Mac, BNNYMACK on X, and obviously this show at In the Corner, WWE on X as well. I will be back this Thursday for some more WWE stuff, some Raw, and whatever else is going on in the crazy world of wrestling. Tyler, I'll see you again, man. Thank you very much.
I'll be back. There's going to have to be more run-ins, at least if they're every once in a while.
I'm sure they will, mate. I'll catch you all this Thursday for some more In the Corner.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.